Okay, so take a moment and get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Today is the new moon. Just sitting in that beginning and take a few deep, slow breaths to arrive. Relax your shoulders. Soften your jaw and your face. And bring your attention to your breath. And for the next minute, let your breath be at your center of every thought, of every observation. And on your next inhale, bring your palms together. If you'd like to set an intention for this next cycle of the moon, something you would like to begin again, or an intention for your day, you can do that now. And if you are comfortable joining me in an Om, take a deep inhale. Om. Release your hands and open your eyes. Switch the cross of your legs. So as you know, this time being human in this world is a lot. And because of the continual just bombardment we are with what's happening with people we love, people we don't know, so many people's rights being taken away, so many people losing jobs. It is a time where our nervous systems are really getting hit with fight, flight, or freeze. And that response is part of our primal brain that tells us we need to get to safety right now. And it's helpful, but it's not helpful if it's happening every day, all day, over and over again. And so we need practices that help us calm our nervous system, calm our breath, calm our bodies, like yoga, prayer, meditation, walking in nature, being with friends, singing, playing music, whatever it is that you find is so essential right now. So that you have your internal resources when you get hit with some information. And there's a lot of information that may be affecting you right in your own smaller world and definitely in your larger world. So take care of yourself. So we're going to take our head around in a circle, paying attention to the sensations in the body. Noticing your breath, your heartbeat, and where your body's touching the ground. And go the other direction. Let's taking some deep, slow breaths and roll your shoulders up and back and down. And go the other direction. And then we're going to take our first gentle twist. Doesn't matter which direction you go, but keep your spine tall and slowly begin to turn into the twist from the navel all the way through to the crown of the head, and using your hands to just give you a deeper expression of the twist, but try not to crank the body. Stay here a couple more breaths. And then just the head will look forward, but the twist will stay. And then you'll unwind. You can switch the cross of your legs again. And we'll go the other direction. Pulling the navel gently to the left or to whatever direction you're going. Lengthen through the spine. And then you can squeeze a little bit through the waist. Use the pressure in the arms. And then just the head, you'll turn. And slowly release. Now we're going to come to our hands and knees. Feel free to use a blanket. Spread out your fingers. And we'll exhale round the back and release the head. And inhale, arch the spine. And move at your own pace, feeling the ground under you. Feeling the breath invite you into each movement. And then come to neutral. Bring your forearms together. You have a couple of options for how you do this next pose. So you want to look at your elbow creases and have them under your shoulders. You want to curl your toes and lift your hips. The one option is to hold dolphin pose. We're stretching between the elbows and the armpit and stretching the heels down, and you can hold. The other option is to reach your head towards the ground in between your forearms and then press your head off the ground. So when you touch, it's very, very gentle. And then you're pressing back up. So this is strengthening the biceps and the triceps. And you're engaging in the core. So either way, if you're lifting and lowering or you're holding, just connect to your breath. Feel the strength in your legs. And then if you're lifting and lowering, go ahead and stretch back into dolphin. We'll all stay here a couple more breaths. And then exhale, bring the knees down and take the hips towards child's pose and rest the head. And then stretch the arms back out and lift back up. Hands and knees. We're going to extend the left leg. And you want to pull the navel towards the spine. Holding there. And then extend the opposite arm. And if this is too much, you can lower the hand and the leg to have less effort and less strain if you're feeling any strain. And then we're going to exhale, touch the elbow to the knee. Inhale, stretch back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. You can take this nice and slow. Inhale, stretch back out. Last one, exhale, elbow to knee, inhale, and then hand on the ground and knee on the ground. Take the knees apart a little bit wider, and then we're going to do some big circles 3 times in each direction. Come back to your breath. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. The knees will walk under the hips and the hands under the shoulder. We'll extend the opposite leg. And find that lift in your lower abdomen to support the lumbar spine. And the opposite arm, we'll start with holding. And then you can reach elbow to knee. So this practice strengthens the obliques, internal and external, and also the transverse abdominis, the core muscles that support all the activity that we do in daily life. 2, and extend. And last one, touch and extend. And then hand down, knee down. You can either stretch back into downward dog or child's pose. And feel into what is right for you today. So the next place we're going is at the front of the mat. So when you're ready, you can come up however you like, walking, stepping, jumping. You'll inhale, lift the head and the chest. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale, lift the head and the chest. Sweep the arms out and overhead. And exhale, arms come by your sides. And before we do our first sun salutation, let's take the feet about the width of your mat and just let the arms wrap around. It's creating a little space in your collarbone area, upper chest, with the swing of the arms. And then we'll come to the front of the mat and standing nice and stretched out from the crown of the head reaching up, the tailbone reaching down. Inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. We'll start with the simplest step back of the left foot. And the right knee bends. We'll take the arms overhead on the in-breath. We'll open up into warrior 2 on the out-breath. Inhale, stretch that right arm forward and then back. Extended warrior. And then inhale, the forearm's going to come to the top of the thigh and the left arm's going to stretch overhead. On the next in-breath, we'll place the left hand on the ground inside the foot. Lift the back heel into a lunge. And then we're going to open a twist with that right arm. So reach through the right arm, forward through the right knee, and back through the left heel. And then inhale. You can either come to plank or hands and knees. You're going to lower into chaturanga, knees down or knees up, and then pull yourself into either an upward dog or a cobra with the elbows bent. And then exhale, downward dog or child's pose. If you're in downward dog, turn your head left and right. Check in with your face and your jaw. And then we're going to make our way forward. You can bend your knees, you can jump. Even if you jump a little tiny hop, it's helpful to your body to have that jump for your bones, strength. Inhale, head up. We'll exhale, fold. We'll come up with a long spine. So face and chest lift, arms stretch out and overhead. And exhale, arms at your sides. We'll inhale, arms overhead. This time we'll step back with the right foot. Exhale. We'll bend that left knee and take the arms overhead. Inhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. And we'll exhale, Virabhadrasana B. Look towards the front hand, take the palm up, reach the back hand to the leg, stretch forward and back, and use this back hand to create traction through the spine. Inhale, forearm to the thigh, right arm comes overhead. And then we'll inhale, hand down, heel up, and stretch open that left arm. And then we're going to reach through the left arm, reach back through the back heel, forward through the front knee. And then inhale, hands and knees or plank. And again, you're going to lower the chest. And then inhale, either bent elbows for cobra, shoulders pulling back and down, or straight arms for upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. We'll be here 3 breaths. Close the eyes. Spread out the fingers. And then come down into a child's pose. And rest. We're going to inhale. Come back up to hands and knees. And exhale, lower all the way down. So we've done this one before. You're going to pull your elbows in and you're going to lift your pubic bone as if your pubic bone could touch your navel. And you're going to press up and down. And again, it could be teeny tiny lifts or they can be larger lifts. You want to use your glute muscles. So we're strengthening both the muscles in the back and also in the arms. Breathing. Do 3 more. Again, they can be really small. And last one. You're going to take your hands under your head and turn your head to one side and close your eyes for a moment. Stretch through the big toes. And then you're going to place this time your forehead down so the back of the neck is long. And you're going to have your hands on the ground, the elbows pulled in, and you're going to lift and lower your legs. So this is strengthening a different part of the back. This is basically the yoga pose Shalambhasana, and we're doing it in stages. And then relax. Take your hands under your head, turn your head to the other side, and take a few deep breaths. So we're going to do one more version. Hands are going to be on the ground. You're going to lift the legs, and then you're going to also lift the chest and hold. Breathing. This is Shalambhasana. And then release and press yourself up to hands and knees. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, arch the spine. So that pose is very effective in strengthening all the muscles that run along the spine. The erector spinae muscles, also the quadratus laborum, which is kind of in the middle thoracic and wraps around. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back through downward dog. And next we'll be coming forward, so you can try that little jump or walk or step. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up with that long spine. And exhale. And shake out your legs. Shake out your arms. And if you have a block, you could grab that and place that on the outer right side of your mat. Okay, so come back to the front of your mat. We'll inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. This time, you can either step back like we did before, or you can lift that left leg. So we just worked all of those muscles in the back that helps assist this pose. And then if you have your block, you can bring your right hand on your block and bring your block forward, and you can open into half moon. It's an option, not mandatory. And then you'll bend your right knee, set your left foot down, and we'll inhale back to warrior one. And we'll exhale, warrior two. Looking over that front hand. Inhale, extended warrior. Reaching that arm back. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, bringing that left hand down. You can keep the back heel down or lift it up as you twist and open the right arm. And then inhale, hand down, either hands and knees or plank. And pause. You could also do half plank with one knee down and one leg straight. And then we're going to go from dog to plank. So inhaling to plank, so that could be one knee down and then back to dog. And then again to plank with one knee down and back, or you can keep both legs up. So each time you come forward, you're trying to scoop your lower abdomen and trying to get your shoulders over your wrist. And then we'll pause in downward dog. Shift your weight left and right. Bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg. And then we'll make our way forward. Inhale. And exhale. When you come up, support yourself as you need to for your lower back. Stretch the arms out and overhead. And exhale. And shake out the legs. And then have your block, move it to the other side. And we'll inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. Get nice and long through your waist. And then exhale. You can lift that right leg or step it back and wait. Left hand would come to your block and your block would go forward. And you would begin opening through that right hip. And if you're steady, lifting the arm. Then bending your knee, stepping your right foot. Use your glutes here as you lift your arms up. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extended warrior. Exhale, forearm to the thigh, and the right arm's going to come overhead. Inhale, the right hand's going to come down. You can either keep that heel down or lift it. Twisting. Inhale, the hand's going to come down. This time we're going to step the back foot forward. So both feet at the front of your mat. Inhale. halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up with the support you need. Stretch the arms. And exhale. Just keep your eyes closed for a moment. Relax your arms. Spread out your toes. And again, you can shake out your legs. We are going to take the right leg over the left. So we're coming into Eagle, Garvandasana. And then you're going to bend the standing leg. And if that foot can hook, you can. And if not, it's okay. Take your arms wide. So the tricky part is now we add the arms. Left arm comes over the right. And then keep the arms where they are. Take the right leg off the left, both feet on the ground. Lift the hands up, lift the elbow creases up. And then draw the elbow creases down and draw the hands forward. And release. Step wide on your mat. We're going to do something in between before we do the other side, and have your toes slightly turned in. Interlace the fingers behind you and roll the shoulders open. We're going to forward fold, taking your time, stretching the backs of the legs, relaxing the head, and stretching the arms away from the back. Breathing here. And then the next place we're going is to come all the way out. You can bend the knees a little bit, come up with a long spine. Pause at the top. Sometimes that makes you dizzy. And then heel toe the feet. And then we're going to do left leg over right. Taking your time. Stretch the arms. We'll do right arm over left. The placement of the elbows in the traditional posture is elbows in line with the shoulders, which is tricky because it's right in your sight line. You're squeezing the hands, squeezing the waist, and then both feet on the ground. Take your hands as high as they'll go. And then draw the elbows down and the hands forward. And then release. And take the feet wide again. So we're going to do a twist on this next one. And so if you know that you like to have a block under the hands on this twist, you can bring the block down. So both hands will be right under your shoulders. You'll place the left hand in the center and the right hand on the hip. And you're going to turn to the right. Your right hand can stay on the hip the entire time. If you know that that's better for your back, keep it there. Otherwise, if you like to lift it, you can lift the right arm. And you're turning the head as much as it's comfortable to look up towards the ceiling. And then that right hand will come down. You'll pause. Take an inhale and an exhale. You'll center the right hand on your block or the ground. The left hand will come to your hip. You'll press down and you'll turn to the left. And again, you can decide if you want that left arm up or down. And then inhale, left hand's going to come down. You're going to heel toe the feet until they're about maybe 2.5, 3 feet apart. And you're going to bring your elbows on the top of your thighs. You're going to scoop your lower belly, so it might feel like you're rounding it a little bit. And you're going to draw your hips down a little bit more. And some of you will stretch the arms forward. Some of you will keep your elbows. So that depends on how that feels in your lower back. And then we're going to exhale, release, and come up with that long spine. Inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. As you take your hands down, think of the hands falling like leaves. And shake out the legs. We're going to come into tree pose. So we'll shift the weight. Start with the leg that is the most wobbly for you. If you're not sure what that is, then just pick whichever one you want. So you'll place the foot inside the leg that is the most wobbly. You're going to stretch the tailbone down and that knee down on the diagonal. And then bring your head over your pelvis. You can have your arms in whatever position for tree pose, Vrksasana. Out, overhead, palms together. And then grow as tall as you can. As much as you're pressing the foot into the inner thigh, you are pressing the inner thigh back into the foot. And then bring your arms parallel to the ground and turn towards your bent knee. And release your arms, turn back to the center and release. And then just notice the difference in each leg. And we'll come into the second side. Wherever that foot makes sense, as long as it's not right at the kneecap. It can be above or below, even at the ankle. Lift the chest, lengthen the tailbone, and then actively stretch through this inner leg. One side may be different than the other. And then get as tall as you can through the waist. The foot presses in and the leg presses in. And then we'll take the arms parallel and we'll turn towards the bent leg. And then relax the arms. Turn back to the center and bring that foot down. And come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. We'll exhale, take your time, forward bending. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale. You can go right back into downward dog, or if you like to do the lowering and lifting, you can do that as well. And we are going into a pigeon pose. If you would like to lift the leg first that you're going to take into pigeon and get some space through the hip to the side of the waist, you can. It's an option. And then when you're ready, you'll bring that leg forward and wide. The less important how far forward the foot comes, and more important that the knee is wider than the hip. And then if you like to take the foot forward, you can, but it's important that the knee is wider than the hip. And begin to soften into this pose. And if Ekapada is not good for your body, you can come into double pigeon, which has the shins stair stacked. Take some deep, slow breaths. Notice the sensation. And then you're going to gently walk your forearms to the left so that you're kind of coming around the right foot. And then come back to center. Firm your abdomen. You can walk that foot in a little closer to the extended leg and then bring yourself upright. And pause. And you're going to take your weight into that right butt cheek and you're going to slide the left foot in. If you can't reach the foot, that's okay. If you can, or reach the ankle, you can stretch the thigh. And then we'll release. Take your time. Come back into hands and knees. We're going to move through a cat and a cow. If you entered the other side from downward dog, go ahead and come back into downward dog. And you can lift that leg up. And when you're ready, you bring that leg through for pigeon. And again, when you're looking at the leg, the knee is wider than the hip. And make your way into the stretch. Get the support you need. If you need something under your hip, or if you need to change to double pigeon. Come back to that place of observation. And then we'll walk the forearms to the right. And back to center. You're going to firm through the core and the glutes as you bring yourself up. And then we'll lean into that left butt cheek. Slide the back foot in. And stretch out the thigh. When you're ready, you'll release and bring that back foot around to the front. This is where you want to have your strap handy, if you have it. Now lie on your back. If you have the strap, you're going to take the strap around the balls of the feet and take your legs up. And you want, if your hamstrings are tight, that's okay. That's why we have the strap. But walk your hands up as far as they'll go towards your feet. And if you don't have a strap, have your hands maybe behind your thighs, behind your calves, or if you are able to take your feet. And you're going to draw the big toes as if they were going to touch overhead. So think of them going not down towards your face, but beyond. And feel that stretch. And then you're going to slip the left foot out of the strap. And you're going to let that left leg come all the way down onto the ground. You're going to firm your abdomen, and you're going to lift the head off the ground towards the leg. And then you're going to let the back and the head come down, pull the belly button down, and you're going to take the strap or the foot or the leg into your right hand, and you're going to open that right leg out, and you're going to take the left hand and anchor that left hip as the right leg is opening. And you're going to turn your head in the opposite direction. It's not a competition to see how wide that leg gets. It's, do you feel the sensation in the stretch? Can you breathe and soften the face? When you come back out of it, your head's going to come to neutral. You're going to pull your belly button down, press your foot out or your leg out and up, and come back to the center. You're going to keep the same leg up, but you're going to switch the hand. Same leg, but the hand is now going to come outside your shin, outside your foot, or the opposite hand. So right leg, left hand. And you're going to take the leg just a few inches across. And you'll feel this big stretch through the outer leg, most likely. Breathing here. And then you're going to slip your hand or the strap off, and you're going to take that leg and release it all the way down. And then I just want you to notice how the legs feel lying next to one another. And then bend both knees. Bring the knees in. You can gently press the knees down towards your torso. Take the hands to the strap around your feet and stretch your legs up again. So you might feel a big difference in the left and the right since we just stretched out the right. And then you're going to keep your hands on the left leg or the strap around the left leg, slip the right leg out, and that right leg is going to come all the way down. Nice and slow. And then you're going to lift your head off the ground. And then the head's going to come down. Keep that leg that's on the ground active. Your right hand's going to press into your right hip as you open that left leg. Feeling that stretch. And your head can turn opposite your leg. Before you bring that leg up, pull the navel down, confirm through the abs and the glutes, lift the leg up. Same leg, but now you're switching the hand. And you're taking that leg a few inches across the midline. And then release the hand and take the leg all the way down. And bend the knees, bring the feet to the ground, tent the legs. And completely relax the pelvis and the lower abdomen, the legs. On your next breath, as you take your inhale, you're going to imagine pulling everything, the universe, in through the pelvic diaphragm. It's coming all the way in, and you're going to seal the door to create this energy of support in the lower spine. We call this Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. So you're contracting the lower belly and lifting through the pelvic diaphragm to create a lot of strength and support here. And then you're going to keep that action, but you're going to open the knees and you're going to lift the hips for bridge pose. So in your own time, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders under you, engage the glutes. When you come as high as you can go, I want you to relax the butt, refirm through the abdomen, and then re-lift the hips up with the glutes active. And then slowly release. And walk the inner ankle so that they touch, and then open the knees into Supta Baddha Konasana. And close the eyes. And take some deep, slow breath. And turn the head left and right. Take a big breath into your lower abdomen. So as you breathe in, just really let the belly and the torso expand. And then press your feet together and pull your knees up. And then walk your feet about the width of the mat. Keep your feet wide and then open your knees and then drop both knees like windshield wipers over to the right. Notice if there's any place that you're gripping and see if you can soften. And then you'll lift your knees up, pause at the top, and you'll go the other direction. Again, notice if you're gripping and see if you can let go. And when you're ready, firm and lift your knees again. And bring your knees in closer to your torso. If you like to wrap your arms around your knees, you can. Last pose we'll do before Savasana, we'll do a gentle twist. So you can let your knees both drop over in one direction and then let your upper body twist to the other direction. If your knees are not able to relax, place a blanket or a block in between your knees. And then bring your head to center, lift your top knee and your bottom knee, and take the knees in the other direction. And take your upper body open in the opposite direction. And place a blanket or a block in between your knees if that's helpful. Whenever you feel like you've had an equal time on that side, you can stretch yourself out in Shavasana. Get what you need to be comfortable, a blanket to cover yourself if you have it, something to cover your eyes, whatever is helpful so that you can be comfortable. Allow your body to melt. Allow the contents of your mind to dissolve. Shavasana. Allow your breath to deepen. And gently inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth with an extended sigh. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And stretch out your arms. Bend your knees. Roll to your side and pause. And when you're ready, make your way to seated. And bring your palms together. This practice is rooted in liberation. And through the course of the thousands and thousands of years that this practice has been with humans, liberation has looked differently. And part of the ripple effect of this practice is how we resource ourselves so that we can go out into the world and be kind and create the world that we want to be in. So thank you for being in class today. May you be at peace. May you be protected from harm. May you be well. And may you love and accept yourself exactly as you are. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks, Melanie.